Good evening. No, it's not evening proper yet. Good afternoon. I'm used to say good evening because it used to be 5 p.m. on this show. And we did announce last week that we are adjusting the time earlier for so many reasons, including logistics. When you live in a city like Lagos, you must be hands on when it comes to what's that word now? Dynamism. Yeah, you have to be dynamic and know when it's time to change something into another form, just so it serves the best purposes. So, welcome everyone who is joining, and I'm super excited to be here, and I'm hoping that you enjoy this as much as I intend to do. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is why I say welcome one, welcome all. That's my music. So I usually say that when you hear this music, it's time for mind your character. The best of the Olusola-Obasa. Yes, this was the music from Radio Time and it's the music now. And it will be the music from now. It's our signature tune and we love it. It helps me to pace my energy and it keeps giving meaning to the entire day. How do you feel about this music? Confirm. Alright, so it's time for me to let it play on a slower. This network behave thyself. I'm out for serious business. Don't even joke. All right. So welcome everybody. I hope you're good. We all have to be good. You know that I serve to encourage a lot of the times when we meet like this. It's an opportunity to encourage you and to let you know that life is worth giving the best shot. Do not give up on that pursuit. Do not give up on that belief. Do not give up on that faith, particularly if it's in God, the ultimate, the supreme. I welcome you to mind your character. And if you're joining, it means that you value something about character or you value something about my person or you value something about the brand RCD. We clocked 10 at RCD this year. I was super excited. You must have seen our logo somewhere or somehow. We've been flying the 10th anniversary logo since the year began. Actually, we're clocking 10 on November 5th. Yippee! Okay, and that's interesting. One of the things we are signed up to as RCB is value addition. It's one thing you can't take away. Like it's either value or nothing. So trust me, this is going to be worth your time. This show is called Mind Your Character with Bosede Olusola-Obasa. In case you're seeing it for the first time, I'm started on radio, and right now we do fully online. By the grace of God, we'll be back to conventional media in a very, very close future. Most likely also the two. Mhm. Everything in its time. So welcome everybody. I just thought to do these reminders because I've been on a very long break before last week, and I'm wondering if you are catching up with this show for the first time. And you're wondering, oh, what does she do? She has a pretty face. Yes, I know. Thank you. Yes, I know. I live with Gen Zs at home, so they have taught me to do what I just did now. Like, by the way, I studied English. Yes, I know I can speak English. Okay, so enough with all of the opening banters and razzmatazz. Last week, I commenced a series tagged Fact About Character That Will Change Your Life. Why did I decide to do this series around this time? And it's a series I intend to stay on for a bit. I did because, or I'm doing because it is the main, the kernel, the center, the core of what we do at RCB. Who we are, who I am, who my books are, if they are who, and who my teachers are, who all of our curriculum, who all of our outlines are. That's who we are, character development. So we are a company that sells, markets, and promotes character development. So we can call it social capital building, social capital management, but we know what it is. It's about character and value. So the name of the organization, simply called RCB, is first Royal Character and Value Limited. Mouthful, but meaningful. See what I did there? All right. So now let's go into the main for today. Last week, I shared the first key thing I thought would change your life. And I did say that you needed to know this fact about character. It thrives in secrecy, good or bad. The word thrive talks about foundational build up and existence, continuous existence, power existence of anything. So your character thrives, is strengthened, is rooted in the secret. So I said character thrives in secrecy. And I explained that character in that case could be good or bad, positive or negative, weak or strong character. I did also say that secrecy could be things as little as picking your nose reels and eating what you picked, eating a beautiful delicacy with granite oil and rubbing your head or your feet with the oil or your palms, and all of those things. And I use them as examples, pictures you can relate with, you probably can relate with. I see some people dusting off and like, no, 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 no. I'm not for that. Anyway, I'm just saying that even if that is, the reason why you can continue to do that is because you know nobody's seeing you. You won't dare do it in the public. You won't do it in a board meeting. You won't do it in any meeting at all. You won't even let the people who know you to be that clean, sharp, clean, proper guy or girl see you doing it. But the secret promotes it. You're comfortable with it. You're doing it in the secret. And it's just like every other thing that is a weakness of character. The same thing. Strength of character thrives in secret. The strength of what you see as anybody's character is rooted inside the secret of that person. So I quoted Abraham Lincoln who said that character is the tree, reputation is the shadow. So you see the shadow, but the root of the tree is buried in there, meaning that there's a secret, a covetousness, a preclusion that goes with strength of character or weakness of character. That was last week. And I did say that these are things that will change your life. I bet it did. Today, I will share something else, not before I have gone through these quotes that can help you appreciate character more. So I have a few quotes here on what some people believe character is, and I do agree with them. The first is by Phillips Brooks. Philip Brooks said character may be manifested in great moments, but it is made in small ones. Manifest, made. Watch the use of his words. Character may be manifested in great moments, celebratory moments, but it is made in small, secret ones that may not be seen. So that lends credence to what we discussed last week. I will skip from there and tell you something about character itself in a few words. Character is absolutely not your public image. Like I said, it is the you that is not seen that manifests either as reputation, perception, qualities, and all of that. It is not the title that people call you. It can result in the title or how polished you look on the outside. It begins from inside. So character teaches us an inside out perspective to life. Character is the sum total of your values, your conduct, your habits, your behaviors, your choices, your decisions, and especially the ones that you make in the private. All of those have gone to establish the fact that character thrives in secrecy. Now, let's look at fact two that you should know that will change your life. Ready? Let's go. Character is a lifelong journey. Character is a lifelong journey. Character is a lifelong journey. This can really be overwhelming for a lot of people. Like, what do you mean? You mean I have to be like this forever? You know how to be forever. That's why you think well before you take a step, before you take a stand. Character is a lifelong journey. That is the fact for today. Remember that the series here about facts you should know about character that will change your life. It's lifelong. What does that mean? What does lifelong even mean? Are you saying that when I start building, I must continue? Are you saying that I don't have a holiday? You know, people talk about tax holiday and a lot of that. But hey, character development, no holiday. That's not the worst. That's not the best thing. Listen, character still under the same. That's what I'm discussing today. I'm just going to flesh in it and help you to come to a point of decision. Character is not a sprint race. It is longer than a marathon. Character is not a sprint. So I'm trying to flesh it up, explain, expound, and help you take a decision of change. Character is lifelong. It is not a sprint, and it's even longer than a marathon. Many of us will agree that marathons are a whole lot. I won't try it. I will not try it for the life of me. I don't know about you. Maybe you are that ski athlete and you will try it. Moi, no. But you see, when it now comes to an aspect of life that you need to embrace for all the good reasons, character development, character building, character forming, it is not a sprint. That makes it lifelong. It is longer than marathon. That makes it lifelong. What do I mean? How does it imply in real life situations? In fact, no one can ever graduate from the school of character if character were in college. You're like, what's this? Who are your friends? It's for the best of you. If character was a college, if it was a university, no one who intends to continue to be good at it can ever graduate. It gives you an impression that it is a start, entry point known, exit point no known. What can exit point look like? You began as a forthright accountant in your workplace. You don't mix numbers. You do your due diligence. You help the company to save money. You help them to nip in the bud the activities of those that want to siphon, defraud the organization. So you saved money. Not only that, as the accountant that you should be into this world, you're thinking through and creating other ways that money can come into the organization. You began like that. And as time went on, you noticed perhaps that the people who are cutting corners are shortchanging the organization seem to be living a better life. Follow my story. These things happen every day in our world. I'm using it to explain how that if you drop your button of character development, you lose all of the tractions that you're giving. So, back to the story of scenario I was creating. And then you went ahead and said to yourself on a certain day, at your downtime, when you were not checking, and said something like, why am I even doing this? Do I have to? Nobody has ever rewarded me. Nobody has ever recognized. Nobody has ever commended. And even if they are commended, you say something like, is it commendation that I will give, as we say in local parlance here in Nigeria, meaning that how has your commendation helped you? And you came to a point of decision where you thought, I'm gonna jump over this bridge right now. And you jumped off the cliff of what you have been building and began to partner, collude, and do all of the things that you will do to defraud the same organization you protected, you defended, and you were accountable to. And as faith, FATE will have it, the very first time you joined them to do whatever it was that you shouldn't do in your rights, you were caught. Because, of course, those who've been doing it know how to clean the tracks behind them neatly for no one to notice. But here you are, a newbie, green on, fresh hire, caught, and then when the issues come to maybe a DC, disciplinary committee or panel, some people go, wow, this is really disappointing. To think that we have trusted you, to think that we thought you were different, to think that now, shockingly on days like that is when you hear something like, and we're only just thinking of elevation, blah, 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 and all. It's usually a regretful season of life when you find yourself in such a picture. And you can shrug this off and say something like, who says that is ever going to happen? I'll play safe. Your choice. But if you'd like to know one fact about character that will change your life is the fact that it is lifelong, it is not sprint, and it is longer than a marathon. If it was a college, you could never graduate from it. You only get better and better and better and better and better. That's why they call it strength of character or staying power. So, strength of character refers to how stronger you are becoming, pushing that uh, pushing that boundary of character, being a person of character. But if you on the other side kept to your journey, mastered it better on the go, became better at the game, yes, and earned mastery with every day, every year, every business quarter, every year you put into the organization. If I'm having to use business and career persons for my example, with every year, there is this reputation you're already building, and everybody comes into a space of trust where they say, that guy, if he is the one you want to do anything with, we are powerfully sure they are the right persons to do stuff with. You can't buy that. It comes with the length of time you have vested and invested into building your character. What you earned was reputation. What you earned was brand visibility, loyalty. What you earned was legacy, positive, of course. And what you earned was trust capital. Huge, huge. And you can't throw it away. So it is not a sprint. If you're that person who gets tired all too soon, when you are standing for something, you may fall for anything. So you need what is called the staying power. You need a strength of character to be built over and over and over again. You need to commit and you need to understand from the get-go that running the character race may sometimes make you stand alone. I can tell you that. Can sometimes make you be like one man in the midst of the desert. Because every other person decides to do things in a particular way. You are convinced that it's not what to do and you opt not to. You better know what it requires before you start so that you don't stop for reasons you can't explain. That's so important. And that said, I would like to add on the final note before I do a brief advert that you must buy into is the fact that when your character is built, I say built, like is building to a good height, building to a good extent, I need you to know that whoever is in your network, maybe your children, because I spoke about legacy, maybe your children, maybe people who bear the same name as you. I'm saying that whatever you build your character into is exposed to certain level of experience. The level of experience it's exposed to makes it something that can be inherited in terms of consequences. So I put down here, I said, the legacy of your character cannot be imputed on another person, but the consequences can be inherited. I'll explain that quickly and I'm done for today. Why am I adding this? Because I want to encourage you to do it. It can be done. Every one of us needs to be on this journey at our different levels. All of us need to be on this journey. So here is what I'm saying. When you build strength of character as a person, consistently so, to a point where it becomes your reputation. So let me use my name, Bosade Olusola-Obasa, for example. A character enthusiast, a character builder, a character developer. For myself, I'm not talking about being a teacher. So I work on my personal character to a point that it makes me an enigma. It builds me into an institution that is revered and known for great things. So that name becomes larger than life. Follow me closely. The name becomes larger than life so much when you say Olusola-Obasa Bosede. They go, oh, that. Something comes to the head of anyone who hears and has known that name. But here is what you've done for yourself. Legacy has been built. So by the time I'm very old, and I've done this for all my life. Remember what I'm talking about today is that it is not a sprint. So I've kept the faith with this all my life. To explain to you what I mean by the fact that there are two words: imputed, inherited. Don't miss it. And I hope that you record this down now. Imputed, when you talk about imputed as far as character is concerned, and inherited, two things happen. So you have gone through the race and you're going through because character development is a cradle to grave journey. That's another expression for the fact that it's for life. Is a cradle to grave journey. Just that the older you get, the more you take responsibility for it. Cradle to grave journey. Now, you built the name Bosede Olusola-Obasa, known for value, known for propriety, and all of those top good qualities, values. Now, there is a daughter of yours and a son of yours sharing the name with you. And if they think that that reputation that you have built from strength of character can be automatically imputed onto them, they may be wrong. Guess why? They will have to step on the board and build their own. Why? Otherwise, they will not be able to sustain it. It's an individual journey. But number two, there is what they can benefit. Imputed is what I just explained. Now there is inherited. On the side of inheritance, because a legacy can be a kind of inheritance. So on the side of inherited, it means that the consequences of your valued character can be inherited by your children. This is where it feels unfair because if you are a bad person, they can inherit the consequence. If you were a good person or you don't have to have been dead for these things to happen. Can still be alive. But you are built for a while. It's been so extensive, people know you for something in particular. That has become your brand. Your children or your lineage or your network can inherit the consequences of your character. But they can never have it imputed onto them for real. Because if it's imputed onto them and they are not able to carry the weight of that character, they will crash under it. The people will say, no, 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 this is not how your mom will do it. So that's why you look at pastors and you want their children to behave like pastors. Kojo, they are not pastors. They are just building. So stop imputing. Let people be trained to build. When they build, then they can be sustained. That explains inherited and imputed. I do hope that this has helped. Reminder number one. If there's no number one, actually, I'm just going to recap of one point. Okay? The point I've shared today under the series Facts About Character That Will Change Your Life, I've shared points two today, and I said it is character is a lifelong journey. Under it, I reminded you it is not a sprint race and it is longer than a marathon. I reminded you you cannot graduate from it if this were a college. If the journey were a college, you never graduate. You cannot afford to graduate. I reminded you that it is cradle to grave journey. And finally, I told you to encourage you that it builds a legacy for you. But that legacy cannot be imputed literally. It can only be inherited in terms of consequence. So I can do good to you because of the good name that your father built. You can work in that. But many people have been employed because of the good name of somebody, and they have to get into that work to prove their own worth. You get it now? That's it, this Friday. I hope that you pick something that you can take a decision on. We will see again next Friday. Every time you remember this name, remember that this name is signed up for nothing else but character development, value, addition. And as I go, take care of yourself, have a beautiful week, and week end. See giant if you like. Those of us that like to work, we don't like Friday. But if I ask my team members now that what do you know about tomorrow being Monday, like God forbid. Bye everybody.